Hello and welcome. My name is Abe Novick, and I'm the marketing manager for Project MUSE. Thank you so much for taking time away from the rest of the conference activities today to spend a few minutes with me, learning more about Project MUSE and our research resources. This demo should take around 15 minutes. First, I hope you've taken a moment to get a beverage or a snack appropriate for whatever time of day it is, wherever you are logging in from. It's around 9 a.m. here where I am in Baltimore, and it's a little cloudy, so I'm sipping on a cup of coffee myself. Here's a little bit about what to expect today. I'll give you a short introduction to Project MUSE, share more details about the scholarly African studies research materials we offer, including open access materials, tell you a bit about our resources specifically for teaching and learning, and show you some of the benefits of setting up a personalized MyMuse account on the platform. So what is Project MUSE? In a nutshell, we're an online platform for research content in the humanities and social sciences, currently home to some 700 scholarly journals and over 73,000 academic books, all published by distinguished university presses, scholarly societies, and related not-for-profit publishers. We are based at the Johns Hopkins University Press, where we began 25 years ago as a joint project of the press and the university libraries at Johns Hopkins. Initially, our objective was simply to provide electronic versions of the many journals produced by the JHU Press, but over time, other scholarly publishers looking for ways to distribute their content to libraries online approached us about sharing the platform we had built. We started by adding journals from about 10 other university presses in the year 2000, and our collection has grown exponentially since then. In 2012, we added academic books to our offerings, making it easy for researchers and students to access reliable, peer-reviewed book and journal content in one place in a user-friendly interface. Libraries can subscribe to journals or purchase books from MUSE and provide access to all the users affiliated with their school or organization. We work only with not-for-profit publishers, and the vast majority of the fees we collect from libraries go directly back to those publishers, helping to sustain university-based, non-commercial scholarly publishing. We also support open access publishing, which I'll touch on a little bit more later. MUSE's subject coverage spans a wide variety of disciplines in the humanities and social sciences. We're particularly strong in the humanities in topics including literature, history, global cultural studies, performing arts, religious studies, gender studies, and philosophy, among many others. Today, though, I'm guessing that the topic you're most interested in is this one here, African studies. So what resources do we have in that area? Well, let's first talk about journals. We offer current issues from some 20 different journals in African studies across a variety of sub-disciplines. What you see here is just a sampling of our titles. For many of these journals, in addition to current content, we have many years of backfiles available. In fact, for some journals, we provide online access to all volumes ever published. If your library subscribes to a journal on MUSE, you'll have access to every volume and issue we have available. Here are just a few more titles. One of MUSE's great strengths is the interdisciplinary nature of the content. I know that in African studies, you are studying all aspects of it across all cultural and all historical periods, and the breadth and depth of our humanities and social science materials can be a great benefit in seeing the bigger picture. and just a few more. As I mentioned, we add new journals to our collections on MUSE every year, so our coverage of new topics and new areas of study is always expanding. Moving on to books. MUSE is pleased to offer online access to books from over 200 scholarly publishers, including several who are well known for their area titles in African studies. Princeton, Cornell, and Johns Hopkins, NYU, and Amsterdam University Press. These are just a sampling of the many respected presses whose books we host. And here's a sampling of recent titles from across a wide range of topics and publishers. And a few more. You'll find on MUSE, just to give you an idea of the range, again, the interdisciplinary nature of so many of the publications on MUSE mean you are likely to find a lot of useful resources well beyond those just singularly focused on African studies. Also, I want to let you know about open access materials on the MUSE platform. This is content that is available to anyone worldwide with no restrictions, regardless of whether you are affiliated with a library or institution that has purchased any other MUSE materials. We have over 4,000 fully open access books on MUSE, many of which have African as a primary subject. Many journals on our platform also make selected articles either permanently open access or temporarily free. As of right now, there are about 900 freely available journal articles in some aspect of African studies. To see these free materials, you can either start here on our open access page or click the browse link. When you're searching or browsing books and journals on MUSE, you can use this option in the interface. And to limit what you see to only content that you have full text access. I think it is also important to note that anyone may use the search and browse features on MUSE and view tables of contents for books and journal issues, article and chapter abstracts when available, and search within the text of a book. Even if you are not able to access the full text, you may be able to discover relevant materials which you could then request for interlibrary loan or recommend your library purchase. Next, I'd like to point out a section on our site that can be useful if you are a faculty member or anyone looking for materials for instruction and class use. You'll find the link to these instructor resources right here on our homepage. Both our free materials and any MUSE journals or books you have access to through your library are great for course use because there are no limits on simultaneous use and no restrictions on downloading or printing. Your students will never have to wait for someone else to finish using a book before they can access it. The interface is mobile friendly, easy to use across all devices, and articles and book chapters are in basic HTML or PDF formats. There is no need to download special software or learn to use a proprietary e-reader. You can confidently include links to articles and books in your syllabi or learning management systems. These are permanent and do not change. In the For Instructors section, you'll find many helpful resources. For those who are adapting to teaching in an online or hybrid environments, we have gathered a reading list of relevant materials in MUSE offering evidence-based research on online teaching, distance learning, and many other topics on higher ed and technology. We also have some quick references to help identify potential course use materials in a variety of core, timely, and topical subjects, including African studies. I hope you'll take some time to explore these resources if you think they may be useful to you. Finally, I'd like to briefly introduce you to our personalized My Muse account. While not at all required to use Muse, a My Muse account can help you customize your experience and build a personal library of Muse content related to your research or teaching interests. First, let me say that we value your privacy, and we collect no personal information when you set up an account. It can be entirely anonymous, as all that is needed is a username and a password that you create. Here are some of the benefits to having a personalized My Muse account. I do want to mention one more thing before I wrap up. Muse is not a publisher, but we are always looking for great new content to add to our collection. If you edit a not-for-profit journal or work with a small non-commercial press that publishes peer-reviewed books and don't have a good way to distribute these materials to libraries in different digital format, we'd love to talk with you about joining our community of publishers. We're especially interested in helping to make open access materials more widely discoverable and ensure their preservation, accessibility, and global dissemination by hosting them on Muse. Please be in touch if you're affiliated with or know about publications which would be a good fit with Muse. Some of the best content on our platform has come by way of recommendations from scholars and librarians who knew about journals or books that needed an online presence and deserved wider dissemination. So we appreciate your suggestions. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. Here is my name and email. If you have any questions, I welcome them, and please be in touch. Thank you.